Hi friends, I am sure that if you've listened to any like productivity videos or podcasts, you hear people talking about batching. Everyone says you have to batch things. Batching is the greatest thing ever. Well, we're about to find out. I do batching sometimes. For example, I often will batch things like making thumbnails for my products or uploading products onto Teachers Pay Teachers. But when people would talk about batching things like blog posts, I was like, that sounds horrible. I love writing, but I don't want to sit and write like 10 blog posts all at one time because that sounds stressful. So instead, I have written a blog post pretty much every Monday morning for the past 3 years, going on 4 years. Yeah, now I did take some time off, like in the summer I would take time off, and honestly through all of distance learning, I did not write any blog posts because I was like, oh, that's just, I need something to drop, and that was the thing that got dropped. But if you have been following along, you might have heard that I started a new Teachers Pay Teachers shop, Becca's Bible class, in March. When I did this, I knew that I wanted to write blog posts because I had seen what it did to Becca's music room, but I was a little bit nervous, and the reason is I was like, okay, if I already write a blog post every Monday morning, when am I gonna write a blog post for the other one? I don't know. So I came up with a solution that I'm trying out, and I'm going to document in this video. So this is actually gonna be a little bit of a wonky video because it's gonna be like a whole month long. So on Monday, I started my batching process for my blog post. So basically my thought is if I write a blog post every single day, then at the end of the month, I will have enough blog posts for about 4 months, depending on how many I actually get done. So for the month of August, I'm writing the blog post for August, September, October, November. Then in the month of September, I'm going to write my blog post for Becca's Bible class for the next few months. Now, for that one, I'm only posting every other week, so it will go a little longer or I'll have less time to write. I'm not totally sure yet. But I wanted to document my first attempt at batching content this big. So I started on Monday. Today is Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday, I finished a whole blog post, top to bottom, easy peasy. Yesterday was actually my first day of pre-planning, and I was a little bit nervous, honestly, whether or not I was going to get it done because I didn't have as much time in the morning as I thought I did, but I managed to write it in 25 minutes, which was awesome. This morning, I did not finish the whole thing in the allotted time. I had to take a shower in the morning, so it like messed up my time a little bit, and then I think I just wasn't going quite as quickly as I should have, and I had to like keep thinking and deleting things, and anyway, I didn't finish today's, but I do have 2 down, one's going out tomorrow, and I'm gonna kind of check in with you throughout the month and then afterwards to show you what I think about the whole batching process and whether or not it's worth it or feasible. We'll see. Hello friends, happy Friday. So this is the last day of my first week of batching my blog posts. So Monday and Tuesday, I did a very good job at writing my whole blog post like all the way through. Really quickly also. I'm kind of proud of myself about that. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I didn't finish them, partially because they were a little bit longer and partially because I didn't allow myself quite as much time as I needed because I needed to think about those a little more than the other ones. You know, some content you can just like churn out and then others you actually have to like think about. So it just took a little bit longer. So what I did is I wrote 4, so I wrote like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then today is Friday, and instead of writing new ones, I finished the 2 that were not finished, and then I'm going to do all of the graphics and all the links so that everything is done. So that's my plan. I got both of those 2 that were not finished, and so I need to go and do like the graphics and all the links and things like that still. So first week, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I like projects, and so I think that's why I'm liking this, because I feels like a project, like, oh, let me get all these blog posts done and then next month we can do something else. So yeah, so far so good. But I would say that if you're thinking about batching, do build in some extra time for things like, oh, I didn't finish these blog posts, or oh, I didn't get these graphics done, because it does take a little bit of time. So just a heads up. Hello friends, I look super cute. It's Monday and I actually slept in on accident. I usually have 2 alarms, so one is like a warning and then there's like, oh, you actually have to get up now, and I forgot I turned one of them off the other day and I did not turn it back on apparently, which I realized when I was like, oh, it's 6:30 and I was supposed to be up at 6. So I just did my workout, clearly, hence the workout clothes, and I'm about to get started. I usually change before I do this, but for today I'm just gonna go for it. So I am opening up my laptop, opening up my website, opening up Google Classroom because that's what I'm writing about today, and yeah, we'll see how this goes since it's now 7:30. I was supposed to be working away, which is why it's a good thing that I have that like Friday built in, where if I don't finish today I can finish then. And it's also a good thing that I'm batching because, again, if I had to do this like for Thursday, I would be a lot more stressed out than doing it for like a month from now. So yeah, well, that just happened. Okay, hey friends, it is Wednesday of week 2 of batching these blog posts. And so I think I checked in on Monday. After I checked in, I woke up late, so I had very little time, but I was like, it's okay, I can do it. And then I logged onto my computer and my website was under maintenance. Like, yay, great. So I was actually not able to write it at all on Monday because that was like the only time that I had to do it. So that happened. So then yesterday I actually did manage to write 2, which was good. So I wrote the one from Tuesday and then also the one that I was supposed to write on Monday. Today's Wednesday, and today was the first day that I really was kind of like, oh, I don't really want to write a blog post today. So it took like a good week and a half for me to get to that point. However, I just have like this one and then the one tomorrow, and then I will be done with writing. I just need to like do all the links and that kind of stuff on Friday. Interesting thing about batching these blog posts is the one today. Oh, I should show you how I did this. Let's show you how I did this. Okay, so what I did is, it's super fancy. In a notebook, building my empire. Love it, because I tell my husband that all the time, like, oh, I'm like building my empire. So what I did is I just, on a notebook, I wrote out every Thursday for the next few months and just wrote what day it was in like the month. And then I took another pen and I just started writing down ideas. So I always keep like a running list of blog post ideas that I have. And so I just used that plus what I knew we were gonna need this year, which is wonky things like no touch singing games and how to use Google Classroom and stuff like that. And I just went ahead and came up with ideas for the next 4 months, which I know sounds like a lot, but again, I keep a running list and I just, you know, content is what I'm good at, and coming up with new ideas is part of that process. So you could totally do this on like a Google Calendar, which would probably be easier. However, I would suggest a way that you can see it, like I'll just write down. I also use these friction pens. They're clickable and they're erasable, which is why I use them, because I've had to like move some things around. So yeah, so like last week I did all the August, this week I'm on September. Because I'm on September, today's blog post was about my favorite books for Hispanic Heritage Month, which is just really funny because I'm like, it's August, like I mean, I guess that's next month. I always think of it as October because it's like half of September and half of October, but it was just kind of funny like writing that super early. And as I go down, I have some like Halloween and some Hanukkah songs and like sleigh ride activities, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so weird writing sleigh ride activities in August. But here we go. So, best books for Hispanic Heritage Month. If you're watching this and it is after September 17th, 2020, you can go to my blog, Becca's Music Group, and read it. I'm gonna go make coffee now. Hello, it is Monday, week 3 of batching my blog posts, and my website is still not working. So like Wednesday it was fine, and then Thursday it wouldn't work, and Friday it wouldn't work. It's not saving anything, and it won't let me publish or like schedule anything. So like literally there's nothing I can do right now except like type out things in Google Docs. So like on Friday I called the people, I worked on chat, and it just wouldn't work, and so then I left it over the weekend, and then today still nothing. So I've got a guy from tech support on like the little chat box, which is pretty good, but he's tried like 4 things and nothing's helped yet, and I'm like, I don't know what to do if I can't write my blog posts. So I didn't get anything done this morning at all, and it's like time to actually log into work. So hello friends, long time no talk. I don't quite remember the last time that I picked up the camera for this particular adventure, but it is now September 29th. I'm assuming it was a long time ago, and we've been having some problems. So I was supposed to finish batching my blogs, but as I mentioned, I was having a problem with my website. That problem never got figured out. We ended up getting to the point where I am just using like the old editor instead of the new editor, and that was the issue, was the new editor wasn't working, which I hate because the new editor is so much better, but it's not working. So I mean, what you gonna do? So I'm still looking for a workaround. I took like a hiatus because I had to finish my online course and my book, and so I was like, I don't have the brain space to do anything else, and so now I'm kind of gonna clean up the mess. I put a bunch of things in Google Docs so that I could get them written and out of my head and onto paper or onto digital paper so that we could, you know, move forward with our lives. But like, I don't know what it is. I don't know which ones I'm missing. I'm missing a bunch of blogs. I'm missing like 4 blogs that I wrote that got messed up because we had to go back and like restore it to a different day, and when I did that it like got rid of them because they hadn't been written yet. So I don't know how to find them, and it's just a hot mess. So we're gonna see what we can do. Hello friends, we are at the end of our first adventure in blogging. First of all, we're ignoring the giant zit on my face. I'm trying not to like wear makeup if I can avoid it to help it maybe go away a little faster. So let's talk about blogging. Today is October 16th. I started this project in August, and I was planning to do it only in August, but clearly that didn't work. I just finished today getting all of the blogs prepped until the end of November. So what I did, I'm gonna kind of just recap and walk you through and tell you what I think. What I did is I wrote, my plan was to write a post a day every day in August, and then on Fridays to like get the videos, the blog post prepped by like adding all the links that they needed and that kind of stuff. It did not work out how I wanted it to because I had all those issues I've already told you about. I had like issues with my website, and I had just different things kind of came up throughout the month that made it kind of wonky. However, that being said, I did finish today. So it's October 16th, and I just finished, and I have them all done through November 19th. So that's kind of sad because I feel like I should have a bigger break than that after all of that work. But you know, it's okay. So a couple of things. If you're going to do this kind of large form batching, I would give yourself a little bit of cushion. I did not do that clearly, which is why I had such a problem and why I'm like just finishing things now, because I was like, I had all these days where I was like, oh crud, like I need to do this, or I need, you know, this video needs to go up today, or oh no, I overslept, or just, you know, all these different projects and all these, like the book that I released and the ebook I released, and it's just like all these different things kept coming up that I needed to work on. So if you're gonna do this, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to make it happen, and also a little bit of extra time on the end. That being said, I did really like it when I did it correctly, because it just kind of gets things over with. The other thing is that I did the writing and all the like linking and setting things up separately. And I will say that is a whole lot easier to chunk. So I picked, like today, I just went through and did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 different blog posts that I just put all the links in, I put all the graphics in, and because I had already made the graphics, I did that all in one sitting, and then I had all of the tabs open for my Amazon affiliates, and I had a YouTube tab open, and I had a tab with my website so I can add more things in there, blog posts, other blog posts that you can go and see. So that was really helpful, because just even like opening all those tabs and signing into all the places can be kind of a pain. And so that was great. Now, I do think I want to do this again, but I want to do it a little bit better next time. So we shall see how next time will go. What I'm thinking is in December is when I will try this next. And so I'll do it for December and get from December to March figured out. And then I'll write in April and do April through whatever the next one is. I'm trying to do like 4 months at a time, because I'm writing, you know, 4 days a week. So 16 posts in a month. Not too terrible. The other thing I'll say is that I am not completely like just done with them. So after I had them posted, I still have to go back and add some stuff and just double check that everything is right, especially because I have been trying to do a YouTube video that goes along with most of my blog posts. Not everyone, because some of them just don't need it, but I have been doing that. The reason being because that gets more people to find me, because they can find me on YouTube or through SEO on my blog or on Pinterest. Then also my video is then on my blog post, which will help people get to YouTube, because it's easy to find things from Pinterest to my blog, and then they can click there and then go to YouTube. So that'll hopefully help me get some more YouTube subscribers. The other thing is just some people like to read and some people like to watch. I like to read, and I prefer, especially if I'm gonna go back and look at like a lesson or something, or like recipes, I like to go back and be able to like look through and kind of skim through what I need, as opposed to a video where like you would have to skip through and it's just too confusing. So I like to read, but I know that other people like videos, and I like videos for a lot of things, but kind of for different things. Videos are more like ideas for me, whereas blog posts are more like, oh, let me do XYZ. So that's why I'm doing both. The good thing is that since the video comes out like the day before the blog post does, that gives me some time to, I do have to double check it, and that means that I can make sure that everything is just working properly. So I will also say I have started this month in October batching my blog posts for Becca's Bible class, because if you are new around here, I do have 2 different TPT shops. So I have Becca's Music Room, which is what I was talking about. That is my main thing that I spend the most amount of time on. It makes me the most amount of money. It's really where I pour my effort in. And Becca's Bible class is more like a little hobby on the sides. It's my side hustle. So I have started doing them, and I've only done a couple so far, but so far I'm really liking it. I think I've done 1, 2, 3. I've done like 4. And for this one, I'm only posting every other week, because again, it is a side hustle. It's not quite as much of a focus. So I'm posting every other week instead of every week, because that just seemed better, more doable, which also means that if I spend a month getting blog posts up, then I have them for like 8 months instead of just 4, which is really great. So I have really enjoyed that as well. I've been doing that this week. I just started, and so far it's going a little bit better. If you were to do this, again, give yourself a little more cushion than I did. Make sure that you have just like plenty of time to do those things. Write on a different day that you find all your links. do all your graphics at one time because it makes life just 50,000 times easier. And make sure you're really organized. So one thing that I did that I was very happy with is I made this little chart. I might have already shown you this. I've been making this video for like 2 months, so I don't even know. So I made like a little chart like this. You can see it's messed up because I was supposed to batch in September, but that didn't work since I didn't even finish the other ones. And here's like my Becca's music room blogs. And so I just went through and I wrote down the dates of each of the days that I'm going to be posting, and then I just wrote down the topic of that post. Why this is super helpful is because I can sit down and I don't have to think about what I'm gonna write. I just like go ahead and I'm like, oh cool, I'm talking about verses about faith that came out this week. So I know exactly what to do. The other thing is that when it's done, I can check it off. And so then I can look and see, okay, this one still needs something. So for example, if I am like working on a TBT product, or if I need to add a link to this, that, or the other, and it's not quite ready, then when I look, I can see, okay, I still need something. And I was putting like a little sticky note with anything that still needed to happen so that I can keep track of that. So I so far am liking this. This one was just a hot mess, but I think in general I will definitely like this system. And what I really like is that it clears me up for other things. So when I don't have blog posts to write, then I can pour all of that time, that like 5 hours a week basically, into other things. So I can pour that into products, or I can pour it into courses or books or all of those different things. And it just gives me a little more leeway. The other thing is that then I don't feel like I'm writing blog posts all of the time, because it can feel really overwhelming. I heard someone compare it to the hamster wheel of content the other day, and I was like, that is correct. I just was like, yeah. So I don't want to be on the hamster wheel of content. I like this because it's, you know, new and exciting, and then it's done, and then we can move on. So I would recommend this if you would like to. If it sounds like the most horrible thing ever, then don't, and just, you know, write a blog post once a week. I wrote a blog post once a week for years. So trying something new, liking it so far, just as long as I can actually get it right next time. So I'm already looking and mapping out, like, you know, like I said, in December I'll be writing my music blogs again, which again just seems so soon. So soon. But you know what, after that, then I'll have all of like January, February, and March that we're clear for. So that's what's happening so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions about batching or want to know more about batching and how I batch other things other than ginormous projects like this, then let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your questions. We could even do another video all about batching, what it is, why you would want to do it, if you would want to do it, and those kind of things. So let me know if you're interested in that down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.